Clarence, Moneybags, Affirmative Action, Money Train, Thomas. I did not know that his staff got in on the action as well. Before I go to the fact that his aide received money, a Venmo payment from an attorney who was antithetical, argued against affirmative action inside of the same court. Before I go to that, here's the former Labor Secretary, Robert Wright. Here it is.
Clarence Thomas must resign.
I'm just a civil servant.
And if he doesn't, well, if there was ever a case to impeach a Supreme Court justice, this is it. For years, Thomas failed to disclose flights on private jets, super yacht trips, and stays at resorts he received as gifts from a Republican megadonor. Even though the Supreme Court has no legally binding code of ethics, and justices remain among the least accountable people in our government, legal experts claim that Thomas violated federal disclosure laws when he failed to report the free travel he was gifted. But at the very least, he's violated the public's trust and corruptly exploited his position of power to subsidize a life of luxury. Enough is enough. Supreme Court justices clearly can't be trusted to police themselves, and Chief Justice Roberts has shown little interest in holding justices to account for numerous conflicts of interest. The Supreme Court is facing a serious legitimacy crisis, and failing to hold Thomas accountable will only make it worse.
All right, here we go. Down the rabbit hole once again. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas is once again at the center of an allegation of unethical behavior. As a new report reveals, his former aide received Venmo payments from lawyers, plural, who had business before the high court, including one who successfully argued against race-conscious admissions, according to The Guardian. Rajan Vasisht, who served as Thomas's aide from July 2019 to July 2021, received the payments possibly connected to Thomas's 2019 Christmas party. The new findings add to the ongoing ethics scandal or scandals surrounding Justice Thomas, including revelations about his ties to wealthy billionaire donors, and have spurred calls for new ethics rules. Richard Painter, former chief White House ethics lawyer during the George W. Bush administration and a prominent critic of the influence of dark money in politics, said the transactions were, quote, not appropriate. It is not appropriate. Thomas could extend invitations to his Christmas party, and he could attend other parties as long as legal cases are not discussed, Painter said. However, lawyers should not be paying for his Christmas party. A federal government employee receiving money from lawyers for any reason, I failed to comprehend how that could be justified. Still, it remains unclear what the Venmo funds were for. But Patrick Strawbridge, a partner at the Consovoy McCarthy, who successfully fought for the court to outlaw affirmative action last month, was among the attorneys who sent this same aide money through the app, Venmo. Thomas wrote a 58-page opinion with the June 29th Supreme Court ruling against affirmative action, laying out his opposition to the policy meant to secure opportunities for minorities. This same aide also received money via Venmo from attorneys connected to former President Donald Trump and another who worked on a case regarding the Environmental Protection Agency's ability to regulate greenhouse gas emissions. The new report is one of several that have put the Black justices' ethics into question. The New York Times also revealed a report on July 9th that revealed Thomas was gifted a Super Bowl ring from Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. Thomas also flew in Jones' private jet to attend the team's training camp and sat in Jones' owner's box for his favorite team. The revelation was part of a larger investigative piece that also goes into Thomas's ties with Horatio Alger Association, through which he rubbed shoulders with the wealthiest Americans in the country. An April report by ProPublica also chronicled Thomas's close relationship with GOP billionaire Harlan Crow, whom he would jet set with on lavish vacations. Crow also bought Thomas gifts worth thousands of dollars, paid for Thomas's mother's home and grandnephew's tuition. Now, the grandnephew is like a son to Thomas, was raised by Thomas. So in effect, this billionaire paid for Thomas, Thomas's wife, Thomas's mother, and Thomas's son. Who do you think he's loyal to? You? Me? The court? You have to understand the extreme nature of what we are being exposed to. And I think we have just hit the tip of the iceberg. There's a reason why the US Supreme Court has no legally binding code of ethics. A traffic judge has a legally binding code of ethics. A county judge has a legally binding code of ethics. Magistrate judges have legally binding codes of ethics. Every judge in the United States of America, even administrative federal judges, have a binding code of ethics, except for the United States Supreme Court. There's a why connected to that fact. There's a reason connected to that dilemma. How do you have literally the most powerful position in the world? You can overrule a president. You have this power and you have zero legal accountability. The only accountability that can hold any of them responsible on any level is the media. And the reason why you are aware of these, let's call them entanglements, is because of media investigations, not government investigations. So if you believe that the Supreme Court is able to police itself, is able to investigate itself, is able to hold other justices accountable to some standard, think again, there is no standard. All right, Jeff, the plot now thickens. What are your thoughts?
Well, this is damning in and of itself, let alone what has come out since the ProPublica report in the spring, going on till today. And like you said, this is the tip of the iceberg. We're going to hear more. Speaking of that Dallas Cowboy ring, I'm really interested in that. Not only how much that ring is worth specifically, but when he got it. Because he either got it back 30 years ago when the Cowboys last won their Super Bowl, or he got it recently. Now, if it's the former, that means he's been getting that money for decades. And even if it's the latter, why is Jerry Jones giving him a ring some 30 years after their last Super Bowl success? None of this is good. I'm looking forward to hearing more.
Yeah, I guarantee you more is to come for sure with this guy.